Hey everybody, this is Dr. Goldner, just starting in a moment here. There we go, live here. All right, we're live everywhere. Hey everybody, as I said, it's Dr. Brooke Goldner, and I'm here today because it's Wellness Wednesday, and this is when I come on to give free coaching to the public and help support you in your journey to find better health and better happiness and better quality of life. It is something I absolutely love to do, and I appreciate all of you who come every week and keep me company. It is so great, whether you're on Instagram right now or on Facebook in our Smoothie Shred group or on YouTube. It means a lot to see you all here with me every week. So just seeing the numbers climbing up of people coming on in to be here. Awesome. And of course, you can put questions here in the comments. Already seeing celebrations. So, all right. I usually start out by talking to you about a subject that I think would be helpful. So I'll start by checking in with where I am. So definitely feeling a little sad this week. Don't worry about me, guys. I can hold sadness and joy and gratitude together. But and a lot of people are definitely going through things right now. Holidays are coming up, so be aware of people around you that you know have experienced loss. They might need extra support or love with Thanksgiving and Christmas and Hanukkah and all the different things coming up. For me, I think I was trying to figure out why. And then I realized it's the school pictures. So Solomon looks amazing as always. My son Solomon is very photogenic. It's the first time that I've had to give him feedback that he should have shaved, which is also weird for all of you who've been following me forever and remember little Solomon. Well, he's scruffy this year in this picture, but I only get to update one, and that gets me. I'm sure like most moms, I have an area for school pictures, so that's on my mind and it's in my heart. So just sharing where I am, and and I've always been transparent with all of you, and I feel like there is importance to sharing where we are, that we can have sadness and feel it and not be self-destructive or hurt ourselves with it, that we can have sadness and gratitude and embrace what's good while we still feel the waves. And sometimes when you feel a wave, it takes a minute to figure out where it came from. And I was thinking about that today. I'm like, that's what it was. That's what gets me. But sharing also gives purpose to my pain. And so I think that that's important. I have always spent my life focused on trying to save others that I thought needed my help. It's kind of funny. I actually vividly remember being 3 years old and on my sidewalk in front of my house in Hicksville, New York. And I used to yell at other kids if they tried to step on bugs. Kids try to step on bugs. And I started collecting bugs to save them. Now, I didn't know at 3 that bugs need food and air and other things as well. And so I ended up with some jars of dead bugs, and my mom had to educate me on that. But I've always had this desire. I don't even know if it's a desire, this compulsion to protect and save others, saving lives. I remember in high school making my school reports about puppy mills. And even going through medical school, I chose my residency to be at Harbor UCLA, which is the UCLA campus that's dedicated to treating the uninsured and the homeless. I figured anybody with money and insurance can go to the main campus. That's where all the celebrities went. But I wanted to be there with the homeless, with the people that nobody ever looked out for. And I stayed that way. I mean, even when I graduated, I worked for a nonprofit, and I was the medical director of the part of the nonprofit where we took care of young adults aging out of foster care and juvenile justice or homeless. the ones that most people kind of throw away. Those have always been the ones that I have been there for. And it's also why I am here with you and why I changed my career to what I do now, because having had lupus for a dozen years of my life and been in a state of chronic trying not to die for so much of my life, from 16 to 28, and still creating a life more for myself through that, being lupus free, like really free for what's going to be 20 years in another 2 weeks. It'll be 20 years, is an incredible gift. And I realized, oh my God, there are people who are dying of this disease and they don't know there's another way. There's people who are losing their kids or their parents and they don't know there's another way. And so I realized that I had to retire from that job and I had to do this and dedicate myself now to helping people live without chronic disease. And so doing this, giving my gift and living my purpose, it gives me strength and it gives me joy and it helps give purpose to my pain as well. I had somebody email me recently and said, her exact phrase was, I appreciate how much money you leave on the table by doing so many free lives and interviews, because you could just be filling up that time with clients. And I appreciated what she was saying, but for me, what matters is I want to make a difference. I want to reach people and I want to save people. And so if one new person is scrolling by today, just one new person, they'll be like, who is this weepy person? I'm usually not weepy. But they're scrolling by and they have rheumatoid arthritis or lupus or multiple sclerosis or some other disease that they felt hopeless about, and they happen to scroll by today. And because I was here live with you, that saved their life. That one person gives meaning to every hour I've ever spent doing this. And so that's, doing this and giving to you and encouraging you and especially saving you. That's everything for me. And that's what gives my life so much meaning. And when I think about that, I feel like the luckiest person in the world. So if you are doing better, I saw some people already doing it, post in the comments, whether you're on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, post in the comments all your wins and celebrations. Makes me feel good, but it also encourages other people who might be having a hard day or might be feeling hopeless and not know that there's better, that they can be feeling better. Share that encouragement. Because, for all of us, we have to find our purpose and find our meaning. And as good as I've been at saving others my whole life, I couldn't save one. But I didn't have the opportunity. He wasn't sick, And that's the other thing we have to remember, is that accidents can happen and we can lose our lives. We can lose people we care about. We can't plan for every accident. We can't stop every bad thing that can happen. But most of it is in our hands. For most of us, our health, our life is not an accident. It is a product of what we do and how we take care of ourselves. And so we can't hope for the best. We can't just hope for a miracle, or hope there's no accident. We have to plan for the health and life we want. So for me, I didn't have a say about the accident. I didn't have a say about that. Nothing I could do. But when I'm working, when I'm sharing, when I'm teaching, that's where my power is, because there's something I can do. And there's other lives that I can save. Maybe I can save your child. I've saved many children. Or your spouse, or your parents, or grandparents, or aunts or uncles, or neighbors, or whoever else it is. That's where I have power. I can take care of myself. That's where I have power. And I just want you to know that I will always fight for you. And, if you thought I was already committed before, well, I was, because living with lupus for so much of my life, knowing that I could be free of it, that I didn't have to live in pain, that I didn't have to have blood clots, that I didn't need to take chemotherapy and injections and high dose steroids, that I could actually be well, which I can say at 48, almost 49 now, I have no signs of any kind of disease. I don't take any medication. At 16, I was taking 7 pills a day plus chemotherapy, just trying to survive. So I've always fought hard for all of you in this area because I know what's possible, and I want all of you to feel the freedom that I get to feel from pain and disease. It is so powerful. And my husband's the same way. He works with me in our practice and in our rapid recovery group. He runs it with me. He also does private rapid recovery, and people always love him because he fights for people too. And we don't just, we don't just say, hey, rah, rah. I mean, we help people with every aspect of it. And he's always said, for him, the most terrifying thing was marrying the love of his life, knowing that he could lose me. And knowing now that he doesn't have to lose me, he wants everybody else to also not have to be afraid of losing the person that they love. And so we are now even more committed, because having lost someone we love, it's like, we want to make sure every person that we see, that we take care of, that they get better. And we've always been really committed. And we know also that the way we honor the people who can't be here is by fighting for our own lives, by enjoying our lives, by being grateful, and by saving those that we can. Because I also think that, I've had people, I was just talking to people yesterday who feel guilty being happy if there's others who can't. They feel bad about being joyful when there's others in the world who are suffering, or people who have passed. And yet I think that's how we honor them, is by being joyful, because we are grateful for the life that we have. We don't take it for granted. We don't waste it. That is so important, because even if we're sick, life is a gift. And when we embrace it, when we're grateful for it, when we fight for it, when we optimize it, it's a beautiful, amazing thing, isn't it? Thomas and I are very, very intense with healing. I don't know if you get that impression. And in our 6-week group, people often tell us when they join a rapid recovery group that they think they're going to be invisible. Like, oh, it's just a group, I'm invisible. Like, they're just going to teach some things and no one knows what I'm doing. And then they're shocked that every single day we're actually checking on them every single day, not only looking at like what they ate, but getting personal attention for everything that's going on with them, addressing the thoughts that sabotage them, calling them out on the actions they're taking or the thinking that they're having that's causing them to sabotage themselves or go off plan that they didn't even realize. Giving them a place where they can process grief and work through forgiveness and release traumas. We create a safe space for that, but we are there every single day helping them with it personally, every person personally. And now we have our app. It's even more exciting because they actually know that only their coaches are seeing what they write, and people are expanding even more what they're telling me. But everybody gets personal attention. And then on top of that, in our weekly meetings, we meet once a week on Fridays over Zoom with the whole group. And while the teaching part that I'm doing that I see they need help with is an hour, Thomas and I always stay on until every person that wants to speak with us and process their issues can talk to us. Usually that's a couple hours, but last week it was 7, and Thomas and I stayed planted until every person got to process through their struggle, get real answers, where I could tell them, hey, here's what I see, here's the issue, here's what to do. And what's really cool is everybody stays on. The majority of the group stays on because they learn so much by watching each other person get processed through and work through their healing. And so it's beautiful, and we love it. Every time our meeting ends, it feels amazing. So it is it's something that means so much to us personally. And I can't think of anything better I could possibly do with my life than what I'm doing. So I think that we have to embrace that every single person's important. Every one of you is important to me, even if I can't see you. When I get a message from someone or an email or see a comment that like, hey, you gave this advice and it changed my life, it healed me, I'm getting better. Oh my gosh, it means everything to me. So I just wanted to remind you today, so thinking through my sadness and what I'm thinking about, that something that Keanu Reeves said. Keanu Reeves was being interviewed, and I think Stephen Colbert asked him, what do you think happens when we die? And Keanu Reeves answered, I think that the people who love us miss us very much. So I just want to remind all of you that for those of you who are not doing what it takes to get better, you are not eating on plan. You are not getting in the exercise you need. You're not doing your self-care. You're not prioritizing your sleep. You're not releasing your stress. You're not releasing your traumas. You are staying sick. And it's because of things that you are doing. To remember that your illness and your life is not just about you, but it affects the people who love you. And if you die, the people who love you miss you very much. And if you are so sick that you can't leave your house, the people who love you miss you very much. If you're not able to participate fully in life, you know, some people tell me they think self-care is selfish because they don't want to take time away from their kids. And I'm like, well, who's going to take care of you when you are so sick because you didn't take care of yourself? It'll be your kids. So the least selfish thing you can do is take care of yourself and be well so that they don't feel like they have to give up on their dreams to stay back and take care of you, right? So I just wanted to take the time to remind you to resolve to heal. To actually just make the decision that I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to embrace the nutrition that will allow me to rapidly reverse disease, right? And optimize my health. Goodbye Lupus protocol is extremely effective, whether it's diabetes or heart disease, rheumatoid arthritis, multiple sclerosis, scleroderma Sjogren's. If you're trying to reverse disease, it is a protocol specific for optimizing cellular function, repairing damage to cells, optimizing immune function. That's what it does. Embrace it. Be grateful for it instead of resist it. Resolve to be grateful for the life you have, to do activities that make you feel joyful, to spend time with people who love you, and honor those who are not here, who can't do this, by doing it and by actually trying to find a way to save your own life and enjoy the life you have. I will always fight for you and with you, but I can't do the work for you. I can't eat the food for you. Or I would just do it. That won't work. But I want you to be aware of that too. Face the issues, do what it takes, and be grateful that there's a way forward. Don't let fear stop you. Take the action, make the resolution, because it's worth it. Your life will be better, and the people who love you will feel better too. But man, don't lose the chance to actually take action to be well. Healing's not going to be an accident. It's going to be a result of the actions you take on a daily basis, okay? Listen, if you want my help to do it, it's my favorite thing. The last Rapid Recovery Group of the year is October 24th. So that one is currently filling up. It's at goodbyelupus.com. If you want that intensity of Thomas and I in your life every day, just trying to do everything we can to breathe in our hope and love and support and help into your life, it's the best thing ever. We love it. It's our most popular thing we do. So that's what you want to do. Take the spot because that's the last group in the year, and there's always limited spots because there's only so many people we can do that with. So that's October 24th. After that, we're going to take time off because our son is home from school and we're going to spend time with him. I'm not sure yet what, but if he's home, we're going to be home too and spend time with him. So during the December break, we will not be having any group, but we'll be back in January. So just make sure if that's what you want and you know it's what you need, then you take action on it and get it over with. I have so many people who do my group who are like, I've been thinking about it for 2 years. And then I finally did it. I can't believe how easy it was. I can't believe how good it was. Why did I wait? So if that's what you want to do, take the spot and take the action. If it's not what you want to do, then make a decision on how you're going to take action. If you don't need my daily help, what is it going to take? but please don't let the time go by. Don't let yourself get sicker. This is something you have some power over. Hold that power. And like I said, enjoy the life that you have, because there's always good in every day. I had a client I just saw today who I've been trying to teach about a lot of these concepts, and she sees me regularly, and she actually got really, really injured. She might be listening now. And was in a ton of pain, but decided anyway to go to a wedding, even though it took a wheelchair to get there and everything. And she discovered, even though she was in excruciating pain, that being at that wedding and seeing the reveling and the joy and the fun and the music and the dancing, she felt so happy. And she had the actual experience that you can be in pain and be happy at the same time. She never knew that was possible. It's something that I teach. It's something that I know I lived it, but she got to have that experience. And so that's it. You don't let yourself think that you can't go and have a full life in pain. Have a full life, but do something about the pain. So that's my lecture for you today. Again, if you've had celebrations of things going well, post it in the comments, right? Let's get real targeted questions about what you can really do to embrace all this. A lot of times people are always looking for a way out instead of the way through. Can I get away with this? Can I get away with that? And it's like, just, there's a way out. Don't you just want to take it? I've walked it. Thousands of people have walked it before you. Just go the path this is where you want to choose the path that's been most used, most well, because we know it works. Look at where your mind is and see what you can do to actually get yourself to the path that you want to be on, and listen to what works. That's all you gotta do. All right. So let me see here. Oh, I'm gonna scroll through and see what you're celebrating, because I love to see that. And let me see here. So, thanks, Sherry. Let me see. All right. Anne Folly wrote on YouTube, I think you're helping me, Dr. G. Dysautonomia trifecta. 6 weeks into your intervention, I've seen a reduction in symptoms. Yay, mornings. I'm committed to continuing in hopes of remission. Congratulations, Anne. That's absolutely awesome. Thank you, Robin, says, for making a tremendous tremendous difference. Let me see. Blanqui Galvez, celebration. Thank you for sharing your honest feelings with us. And you were right when you told me my kidneys had room for improvement. My GFR went up 7 points this month. That's what I'm talking about. Right there, right? Like, that's what I'm talking about. Kidneys love our plan. Oh, Sherry said she needed my pep talk today. Let's see here. All right. Let me see what was. Make sure that you are. I'm sorry for those of you who share my pain. Love back to you, Flame and Shannon. Let me see here. Okay. Cindy says she can feel a negative difference if she misses a day or two of smoothies. Yeah, it makes a difference, doesn't it? Let me see. All right, well, I'll find celebrations through while we're going, but I see so many of you are asking me questions. Let me see, I barely started Instagram, so. Oh, here we go. Loves, I like this. Loves at a Grace. 5 months ago, I began your protocol out of desperation, and I feel like I got my life back. Thank you. You are so welcome, and thank you for sharing that, because that's what other people need to see. Hey, desperation's great motivation. Oh my gosh, there's so, oh, thank you, Instagram. You guys know how to do it, right? So this one says, Mitzi Clendon, your smoothie protocols help my drug-induced lupus under control. Thank you. Do you have experience with drug-induced lupus? Yes, and absolutely. You have to take away the offending drug, and then this will get you back to your baseline. Drew Stu says, do you ever come across people who never got a diagnosis because they made the big changes before getting through the medical industry test? Yes, that has happened many times for a lot of folks, especially outside of the US. It takes them so long to get to their appointment that by the time they get into the rheumatologist, the rheumatologist goes, I don't know why you're here. So a lot of times they'll have really swollen joints. I think someone recently that they were really swollen, their hands and wrists and everything. The doctor sent them to a rheumatologist and they went immediately on my Goodbye Lupus protocol. And when they went in, they didn't have any swelling at all. And the doctor went, okay, well, I saw the previous scans. You look fine now, but considering what it used to look like, we should get you on meds. And they're like, I don't think so. So yes, that's happened many times. I had one client who, she was from Australia and her daughter had juvenile arthritis that made one of her arms crooked and she couldn't straighten it. I mean, she had pictures of one arm is straight, one arm's crooked. And it took 6 months to get into a juvenile rheumatologist in Australia. So they saw me, they could get in with me sooner. And by the time she went to the doctor, she had already recovered and her arm had straightened and she was doing well. And so same thing, they're like, well, since it happened before, maybe we should treat it. And they're like, no, we'll just wait and see. And she's been doing well. So yes, it is always great to get back your health before they can even label that diagnosis on you. Oh, thanks, Mona. Mona Zaf. Let me see. Thank you, Renee. Coffee. All right, let's see here. All right, Janine Guzman. Hi, Dr. G. I've been healing MS with the Goodbye Autoimmune protocol for about 4.5 months. I've seen tremendous progress initially. Lately, my symptoms have been stagnant. Any tips? I have an appointment with you in October. Oh, good. So I'm going to see you soon. So it could be a few things. So when you're healing from MS, any new lesions usually will improve. We've had people who had repeat MRIs where their most recent lesion gone along with their most recent symptoms. Now, if you've had MS for a while, you might have some older lesions where those are scarred over and they're not inflamed, they're just scar tissue, right? And scar tissue is already healed in our body, so we won't send more healing to that area. So there might be some issues that you have that are now kind of the new normal because of the healing, but that doesn't mean you can't continue to get better. So you didn't mention what the issues are, but yeah, so if you hit a plateau with healing, especially in MS, then we look at, okay, if you're doing everything right, then it could be that these are just old injuries that have healed this way. It's kind of like if you get a break in a bone, but you don't get a cast, it will heal, but in a weird shape, right? But it's healed. The only way to fix it is with bones would be like to re-break it and heal it the right way. We're not going to do that with you, don't worry. But just so you understand. But with MS, it's very important also to be doing physical therapy. We have someone in our rapid recovery group right now with multiple sclerosis, and she is getting stronger and stronger, and she's doing incredibly well. And I have her making sure she's doing her physical therapy daily, because when you're doing the physical therapy, you are telling your body that you want to use those areas that you haven't used before. So even without MS, if I just stopped exercising, I stopped walking, let's say I just stopped walking altogether, then eventually I will be unable to walk because the muscles will atrophy in my legs and I won't be able to walk. So even if MS was the reason initially, I still got the atrophy. So if we want to see, can I get that movement back now that the disease is quiet, then what we'd be doing is getting the physical therapy to start using it, because as we start doing that physical therapy, even in these weak areas, you're sending signals, you're sending also the signals to branch out blood vessels and neurons, nerves, to have them branch out and start innervating new areas. And we might be able to bypass the area of injury, just like people who exercise a lot but have terrible diets often can have branches of blood supply in their heart that go around areas that are clogged, because when you exercise, you are telling your body to create more and more blood flow, more and more branching to your muscles, including heart muscle, right? Well, the nerves as well. So if you've hit a plateau, one, I'd be making sure you're doing everything right, which if you're seeing me in October, I will definitely be doing that with you. My appointments are 75 minutes. We will go through every detail and make sure that you're doing exercise to see if you can get some improvement in those areas by just signaling your body, hey, I still need it. Okay, let's see here. Lucky Cat, what veggie fruit combo do your lupus nephritis patients have the most success with? Do they use flax or chia? So it doesn't really matter about the combos. It just matters that you're getting the nutrition in. The only time that I weigh in on it is if they have lupus nephritis to the point that they have for example, potassium restrictions, water restrictions, then I start getting in there. So for example, if you're on potassium restriction, you would use chia seeds, not flax seeds. If it's low potassium, then use low potassium like cruciferous vegetables and fruits. But if you have early stage where there's no dietary intervention necessary, you can do the full protocol and choose the flavor combos that you like. All right, let's see here. Okay. Let's go over to Smoothie Shred. Where's my live? I know it says it's live. Please make it live. Where'd it go? What's up? There I am. I see my face. 1 second. All right, Smoothie Shred. All right. Natasha, my husband got hospitalized and diagnosed with diabetes 3 weeks ago. I'm so sorry, Natasha. He's doing smoothie and water daily now, only eating vegetables, fruits, and legumes. Some are cooked. Would it be better increase his omega-3s with flax oil or go oil-free? He definitely needs the omega-3s. So I'm glad he's on the right track to reversing this diabetes. Our full raw protocol is the fastest, but this will definitely get him on track how you're doing it, but definitely include the omega-3s. Flax oil or flax or chia seeds, those are important fats that will help him heal faster. They do not cause diabetes. Thank you, Aphrodite. Let's see. And thank you, Betsy. Let me see. Let's see what this question is. All right. Let's see. Nejiana says, I've been trying to do the Goodbye Autoimmune Disease protocol for 53 days and 16 days without fruit. Lost weight from 44 to 39.40, even though I do eat about 6 kilograms of cruciferous. Maybe, I think you mean pounds. Also, the bowel movement was perfect at the beginning, but I'm having little or no BM last 7 to 10 days. My stomach's been hurting 2 days. Do you think it's because of the big amounts of food? I'll start rapid recovery in October. Looking forward to it. Oh, good. So you can be in rapid recovery. Then I'm going to see all of it and be able to nitpick where it is. I don't know what the issue is. It could be that just because you took the fruit away, that might have been helping you with your digestion a bit. I don't know why you chose to do that if you were having some block that you were trying to overcome. If it wasn't, then you can always add that back. You can add more flax oil. You can do some exercise because that is, it's 1.6 kilograms. You can do more exercise so that you can jostle things along. So that's really, I mean, you're eating though, if 1.6 kilograms, I just looked up, is 3.5 pounds, that is a lot of food. So you might have tipped over how much fiber you can handle and need to dial it back a bit. So maybe try that. Okay. All right. Let's go over and see. I didn't forget you, YouTube. Okay. Mo's Review Channel. I love you, Dr. G. How long does it take generally lower TSH of Goodbye Autoimmune? I know everyone's different, but could you give me a rough time frame? Thank you for all you do. So very, very personal in terms of like how quickly we see that lower because not everybody is actively making thyroid hormone in a substantial way, and some people are relying more on their medicines. But for those whose TSH comes down where their thyroid start working again, which most people do have some improvement there. If not full improvement, definitely some improvement. Usually we will see changes even within 3 weeks. Oftentimes they will have symptoms of being over-medicated at around that time where they were fine and suddenly diarrhea, anxiety, not feeling well. And it's because they're now producing more thyroid hormone. And then when they test it, they'll see that they have the lower TSH. All right. Hello, Potatella. Do I need to take EPA, DHA, or choline supplements as a whole food plant-based hypernourishing pregnant woman? No, just your normal prenatal supplements. I took Rainbow Light when I was pregnant. It's a whole food vegan supplement. Probably didn't need it, but you know, the years of research have said prenatal vitamins are good for pregnant women. I wasn't going to mess with that, so I took it as a just in case. All right, let's see here. Lovely me Jenny, can GLP hypernourishment give better outcome after vision correction surgery like LASIK with less risk of complications like double vision? I have no idea. I have never tested what would happen with LASIK. People heal faster from procedures in general. I've definitely had people who had eye injuries and eye surgeries who said that their healing was remarkably fast, as well as other surgeries. Because again, the protocol is specific to cellular repair. So whether it's damage caused by immune disease or damage caused by a surgery, your body's going to repair it as quickly as possible. But whether you'll have less issues with the surgery and side effects, I think that's more dependent on the surgeon. So yeah, I don't know. If I don't have results, I don't guess. So, let me see. All right. AR, how much average people eat during the rapid recovery group? 1 month GLP, and I couldn't eat much more than 1.5 pounds cruciferous. Well, that's a good amount. We really, we might tell people to eat more depending on their situation. A lot of people who, might be like you and be like so stuffed on 1.5 pounds, after about a few weeks, they're hungry again. So the gut adjusts. So we make it very specific to what's going on with the person. So. But that's you're at a good amount right there. All right, let's see. Regina, my doctor says flax and chia have too much omega-6 for me, and she wants me to increase omega-3 via juice, lamb, pasteurized eggs, and MCT oil. And this is why you don't listen to doctors when they talk about nutrition. And I understand how ironic that is with me sitting here as a doctor, but nothing in that sentence actually makes sense in terms of science. I'm so sorry to tell you that. You're not going to get omega-3s from eggs and MCT oil. MCT oil is saturated fat, usually coconut oil. Eggs are hugely high in arachidonic acid, omega-6, like a huge source of it. Yeah, and flax and chia seeds are mainly omega-3. They do have some omega-6, but they are mostly omega-3. So nothing about that sentence makes any sense. So you have full permission to ignore that completely. That makes, yeah. I'm sorry. There's more I want to say, but I'd like to be respectful. Okay, let me see. Philip, hello. My urine is very clear with 8 to 9 glasses of water. Do I need to drink 1 gallon? I'm doing hypernourishment, adding a blender a day. I heard that too clear of urine is not good. I don't think there's a thing of too clear urine. It depends on what your goal is. If you are a healthy person, then clear urine is a great goal. That's fine. In disease reversal, we have found that 96 ounces is the right minimum. But I also don't put that across the board. There's people who I will use less water with, and some super elderly, or people who have kidney issues, or they have heart failure or other things. Like the water is definitely one where I often have to personalize that. But if you do not have any of those other issues, you're getting adequate sodium intake, and you need to have to be on one of the protocols for reverse disease, then do the higher water intake. If you're just maintaining great health and your urine's clear, that's great. All right, let's see. All these people telling me that they're drinking their smoothie. That's right. Shawnee says, at 59 years young, this protocol is working to finally get the pounds moving in the right direction. And thanks to Dr. G and Thomas's book, Miracle Metabolism, this girl's seeing abdominal muscles. Yeah, that feels so good, doesn't it? I mean, when you actually can see your ab muscles, that's what I'm talking about. Like, good for you. Miracle Metabolism is awesome. For those of you who are really looking to understand how weight loss really works, like fat loss and muscle building, Thomas's book is really, really good. And he gets into the details of how it works and how to optimize your diet and your exercise to promote your actual goal, whether it's muscle building or fat loss. So, and always have to, so you changed your name, but I still know it's you. You're welcome, Nicole. Let's see. Michelle, Dr. G, my B6 is consistently very high and out of range. I do not take a B supplement. Is this a problem? I've had idiopathic neuropathy in my lower legs and I eat high raw in your smoothies. Yes, I'd be trying to hunt down the reason for this. typically there's a B supplement somewhere. Not usually, I mean, nutritional yeast has B6, but it's pretty low amounts. I mean, I don't even know how much you'd have to eat to significantly impact it. Looking at multivitamins, fortified foods, trying to figure out where it was, or were you taking a supplement in the past and it just hasn't come down yet? Because B6 is one that at high doses could cause nerve damage. So I would be looking at that. Although I don't know how high out of range is. If it's just barely out of range, it might not be a big deal. If it's at toxicity levels, then it's definitely worthwhile to try to figure out where that came from. Shawnee added, I can't believe I can eat avocados daily and shed weight and feel amazing. I was scared of fat for so long, and now chia, flax, and avocado are my friends. I'm going to highlight this one too, because, oh my gosh, I have to fight this misinformation so much that eating fat makes you fat. No, but it sure makes fat loss so much more fun, right, Shawnee? So much more fun. All right, let me check on just regular Facebook page. All right, let's see here. Noah Schiller, secondary osteoporosis, any idea to build back the bones? Yep, the best success we've seen on reversing osteoporosis has been our full Goodbye Lupus protocol nutrition and strength training exercise. You do those two things together and you get strong and bone density comes back. I just had someone recently send me their labs back, no more osteoporosis. Very, very exciting. But make sure you're working with a trainer or physical therapist. You can make sure that you're not doing exercises that can put your bones at risk. So when you are putting weight strain on fragile osteoporotic bones, you are at high risk of fractures. So make sure that you are working with someone who can make sure that you are safely increasing bone density. Okay. David wants to know, I've been told to minimize fiber because of a history with bowel obstruction. What should I do about chia and flax seeds? Use flaxseed oil instead. Ty, does rapid recovery help with orthopedic issues like arthritis? Yes, actually, today I was in Smoothie Shred, which is our free Facebook community. So if you're on Facebook, make sure that you check that out. And if you go to smoothieshred.com, you can get a direct link to our group and not any of the fakers. But it's called Smoothie Shred by Dr. Brooke Goldner and Thomas Tadlock. And somebody today was just, there was a post that just came up, and she showed her x-ray. I'm looking at it right now. That's why I'm looking away from you. Sorry. And I'm looking at her x-ray, and the person shared, she said, my rheumatologist was shocked and asked me so many questions, including, did I see another doctor for my follow-up for osteoarthritis in my right knee? He said it's reversing and improved so much. I didn't take a single pill or injection, but she was actually getting cartilage, which we've never seen that measured in an x-ray like that before. So yes, always worth it. Definitely do it. All right, let me see. Versha Carter, how do I start? Oh, wonderful question. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, which you are, I know I said I was gonna do Facebook, but her question was, go to the description of this video. There says something like resources for you. There's a link tree there. Click the link tree and you'll see all the free resources, low cost resources. I have so many things, as well as, watching all my free content that I post every day and coming here. But we have so many resources. I have books. We have also a lot of, like I said, there's tons of free information, free lectures. There's so much. So yeah, the link tree in the post. Okay, let's see here. Diana, you are appreciating my humor. Yeah, well, I said, and this is why we don't trust doctors about nutrition. It's true. I had to learn this all after becoming a doctor. This isn't from medical training. It was my medical training that allowed me to understand the biochemical pathways and the physiological processes and how that made sense with the nutrition. That's where my medical mind worked. But actually being taught about nutrition, oh no, whoa, no. Let me see. All right, let me see. Carla, how can I get on your program for October? I need real help. Love to help you, Carla. So you can either click the link in the video that has the link tree and it'll say 6-week group, or if you go to goodbyelupus.com, that's my regular website, goodbyelupus.com. Work with Dr. G, you'll see there's appointments, 6-week rapid recovery, private rapid recovery. It's a 6-week rapid recovery. So, all right. Let's see here. Valerie St. John, any thoughts about breast cancer, estrogen positive? I'm sorry to anyone who's dealing with cancer. It's a very scary illness to deal with. I always have to be careful because, we have to be careful. Sorry, once I start getting emotional, then the nose doesn't stop. So pardon the tissues. So with cancer, you definitely want to see your doctors and make sure you're using medical care, right? Sometimes the safest thing people can do is have surgeries and remove tumors. Even people who use nutrition often will get rid of the bulk of tumors and things like that. So I wouldn't ignore medical treatment. I would embrace it. But in addition, nutrition makes a big difference. We've had folks with breast cancer who have done our programs and who have witnessed real-time reduction in tumor size and markers. And that's very exciting. So in addition to doing whatever the medical treatments are that you need, I can't stress that enough, nutrition makes a big difference. So I would be all in. I would be 100% raw, doing the full Goodbye Lupus protocol if I had cancer anywhere. And exercise. So I was speaking about that recently. I shared a little video about that, about how recent studies have shown that not only do cruciferous vegetables kill cancer cells in a petri dish, but people's own blood kills cancer cells in a petri dish after doing high intensity exercise. So those are the things that are within our power. And as I talked about in the first hour of this, or not the first hour, I'm sorry, this is the hour, in the first 10 minutes or so when I was talking to you, that we have to embrace what's in our power. And those are things, what we eat and how we move our bodies, those are things that are within our power, as well as whatever medical treatments that we might need as well. All right, let's see here. Amanda Zimfer, does omega-3s cause ovulation, bleeding, or affect the menstrual cycle in any way? Not usually, but possibly. So omega-3s in and of themselves, no. Chia seeds, no. Cold-pressed flaxseed oil, no. Flax seeds in high enough amounts, could they? Potentially. It's extremely rare, but it is a phytoestrogen, not an estrogen. So it doesn't cause most people to have really any issues besides actually feeling a lot better. But it's possible to affect cycles. But again, it's not something that I generally see. I can't even imagine the levels that you have to do to get there. But sometimes people will have a change in their cycle when they're making a big change in their nutrition. They might skip a cycle or be a little later or something when they're doing, even with new exercise, stuff like that, stress. There's so many things that can affect your cycle. But what people find is that when they continue on, it's the best they've ever had. So that's really important too. Fertility tends to go up. Regularity goes up, getting rid of PMS, all of those other things that people really find are incredible, but not specifically the omega-3. Omega-3s are great. They don't do anything. They won't affect it in any negative way. Let's see here. So, Barb's got some celebrations. Let me share with you. Says, I have 3 autoimmune issues that I've dealt with since 2011. What I do see happening this week, 5, I'm on, is 1, psoriasis is no longer appearing. 2, I can ingest vinegar, lemon, lime, and strawberries. And I used to get mouth blisters before, small, but quite amazing. So I would not call this small. I would call this huge, okay? Then there's more. Wait, there's more. And to add to that, my energy is much better. The brain fog is lifting and I'm feeling well. So this is so important. I love seeing the celebration. So congratulations, Barb. When we see things like that, it shows you that what's possible, right? And that just a month of changing how you eat and you're sleeping better, your energy's better, your brain fog's lifting, psoriasis is going away. And this is what I normally see in my practice. That's why all my friends who have changed what they're doing, I mentioned before, one of my best friends from medical school is now a fiction writer, and my other good friend is now doing life coaching. Like, they're just trying to do anything but practice medicine because business as usual as a doctor is depressing. because people just get sicker. But in my world, in my wellness practice, people get better. So that is what makes me really happy. Let me see here. So Krista says 9 weeks on the Goodbye Autoimmune protocol to decrease TSH, and my thumbs have increased range of motion. I'm so happy about that, but my TSH hasn't budged. So first of all, congratulations. Range of motion shows whatever kind of arthritis you're dealing with is getting better. If your TSH hasn't budged, just make sure you're getting your iodine intake. People who have hypothyroid should be on 300 micrograms a day. So that might be part of your problem. Healing's happening though, as you can see. So that's really good. Oh man, oh, you guys are all celebrating. You're making my day. See, I knew that on a tough day, come here and it's going to be better. So KW edits, you saved me. I'm a few months out from having a negative ANA result with lupus nephritis. No more joint pain, not on meds, no more severe stomach pain. These are people I don't know who are just following my protocols I teach. So if you've never been here before and you've never seen my face before, this is what's going on. Get in on this. Get in on this. Let me see here. And always happy to see Diana celebrating. So those of you who are struggling with MS, here's another example, another celebration. Reversed MS, neurologist now lasts 8 minutes on telehealth every 6 months instead of 3 hours in person. Got my life back. Much love. Yeah, this is what can happen. I am not a mutant that I can be lupus free for 20 years, but it's not going to work for other people. This is all working for other people. Thank you, Maxine, for sharing. This is what I'm talking. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is like the most celebratory live ever. Check this one out too. Look at this honeysuckle poetry. Look what you did. Celebration. My little sister got diagnosed with lupus nephritis. I started her on the protocol, and within a couple of months, all her numbers are normal again. Thanks so much. This is normal in my world. I'm so happy for all of you. Let me see here. Okay. Diana says, smoothies for life. Let's see. Wendy's another one who's celebrating. So I love that we're getting all different diagnoses here, because look at all of the information you're getting. Still living nearly fibromyalgia pain-free, up to walking 3.25 miles a day. I never skip my smoothies. If you're thinking about trying this, do it. It's just food. What could you lose by trying this, right? Oh my gosh, you guys. This is like, I'm looking for questions and I'm just getting all the lovies here. Says, I donated kidney 22 years ago. You're amazing, Debbie. Under protocol, my creatinine is 0.86 for the first time since donation. The protocol 100% works. Kidneys love it. So yeah, this is pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. I love seeing all these celebrations. You guys, now you got me smiling, so my cheeks hurt. Let's see here. Let's see, looking for the questions. Margie says, my friend has lupus and MS and her body cannot handle whole food, plant-based food plan. Any wisdom? I don't know what that means. What does it mean that your body can't handle whole food, plant-based? That doesn't make any sense to me. Your body needs to be plant-based for it to heal. So I can guess what it means. I just hate guessing at things, because when we guess, we get things wrong a lot. That's why I teach results. My guess would be it bothers your stomach. If it bothers your stomach, we can work around that. I have plenty, believe me, I've got so much stuff for stomach stuff, because since everything I teach is about what you put through here into here, people have all sorts of reactions and I help people through it. So maybe she just needs help with that. I don't know if it means that she has a medication that might interact with food. So there's not enough information. And if all she's telling you, Margie, is my body can't handle it, that's not a real thing. She's got something going on that we need to solve. So the path to reversing lupus and MS will be doing this protocol. Do the Goodbye Autoimmune Disease protocol, get you well. If there's an obstacle to doing it, then you get help. So that's when you do book with me. I donate my time as much as I can, but I can't fix everything without, sometimes I need to be there to be able to see what's going on and solve the problem. So I would say if she wants to do this, but she feels like she can't, then she should meet with us so that we can figure it out and then help her get on the plan and then get better. But I'm just going to slide this over to you. You don't have to pick it up. You can let it go on by, but she might just not want to, Margie, and she's just giving you that as a reason to leave her alone. So just might just be, I can't handle that, and then leave me alone, Margie. So I don't know. But if she actually wants to see how to fix it so that she can get on the plan, then she should meet with me so I can do that. I can help her do that. Margie also wants to know if we can help a 4-year-old with juvenile dermatomyositis. Yes, absolutely, as long as the parent is going to do what it takes for the child. And that might sound like a bizarre statement, but that's the biggest struggle I've had with some of the little kids is the parents giving in to giving them things that are bad for them because they don't want to see them have a tantrum or cry because they don't, because they're not getting their usual candy or French fries or something. Our job as parents is to make sure that our kids are well and they do what they need to do even when they don't feel like it, right? Isn't that the hardest part about being an adult is making yourself do the stuff you don't feel like doing, right? So as long as they're willing to do whatever it takes, and we can have fun with it, right? But you got to do what it takes. Absolutely. This helps with dermatomyositis. And that little 4-year-old needs it. That's very young to be sick. So we got to do whatever it takes to get better. All right, let's see here. Okay, Rumka, strong virtual hug for you. Thank you. Received. I have MS. Food that I eat is okay. Smoothies also, but I struggle with the amount of water I drink. How to help myself drink more of it? It's a common struggle. Most people really have issues with the water intake part of it. Most people live chronically dehydrated, but especially with MS, a lot of times the symptom people have with MS is that they have incontinence, urinary incontinence. And so it is very difficult to drink all that water and then not be able to hold the urine. So it would depend on the reason for you. If it's that you just struggle because you're not used to the water intake, then you might just want to schedule it. I recommend getting, like a super large water bottle. I have them on my Amazon list, getting a big bottle and just making sure that it gets emptied. You can set a timer every 2 hours to just chug a cup of water. So, because some people, they'll just sip and just never finish it, find a method that'll work for you. Sometimes I do have to reduce water intake or help people with other plans, because of their ability to actually hold their urine. And some people will cut back on it and say, okay, I'm going to get everything else perfect and do less of the water that I can handle and then see how much result I can get. And then as I get healthier, expand it. So sometimes I'll have to personalize that depending on what people can do. So many people who are dealing with loss of children, I'm seeing that. My heart goes to you. It's one thing that I've learned. A lot of times people will say things like, it's against nature. It shouldn't happen. I'm like, it's not against nature. It happens more than you think. And it's very hard. So, and we still need to live and love and enjoy our lives until we see them again. All right, let's see here. All right, I'm going to show this because it's a question, but with an improvement. I started the program just on Saturday, and I'm feeling tired around 3 p.m. I have Hashimoto's and CKD stage 2. I have already seen improvements such as reduced swelling in my legs. Is the tiredness normal? So first of all, congratulations for swelling already coming down since Saturday. That's fantastic. So that's already showing some improvement in your kidney function. And I'd expect some weight drop to go with that because that is actual inflammation coming down and that has a weight. So that's exciting. Tiredness. Yeah, you're less than a week in. So the detox phase can cause that. I would just be careful. I mean, with CKD stage 2, usually you don't really need to restrict things like water, but you can always check in and make sure your electrolytes are where you need to be, make sure you're getting enough sodium, etc. But if all that's normal, then yeah, sometimes it could just be the adjustment period of going through kind of a detoxy feeling. Usually, you'd be right on time for that. You'd be right on time for that. Let me see here. All right, Instagram. All right. Wikolila, just diagnosed with MS Monday. Haven't seen my doctor to see what treatment will be. Otherwise, healthy 46-year-old male, very severe symptoms right now. What can I know what can I do now to reverse to reduce symptoms? All right, so you're on Instagram. When this video is done, or whenever you want to, click over to my profile. So if you click on @Goodbye Lupus on Instagram, go to my profile, and there's a link with my profile. Okay. Click in that link. All right. We have so many resources. So you want to get on the nutrition plan right away. The nutrition plan's in the book Goodbye Lupus. That would be the most urgent thing to do. I also, if you prefer learning by watching versus learning by reading, I have online classes that I teach the protocol in detail as well. If you go to my YouTube channel, I have keynotes where I talk about it in detail as well. So start getting the information so you can get started. So the initial one would be the Goodbye Lupus protocol right away for your nutrition. If this is new, there's a good chance that these areas of your nervous system are inflamed, but they are not permanently damaged. So we got to get the inflammation down as quickly as possible. If you want to be as aggressive as possible, then I would recommend you just jump into our rapid recovery group starting October 24th, because you have a new diagnosis. And there's a good chance that if we aggressively attack it right away, that you can get this better really quickly. We've seen that so many times, and it's great. We had an emergency room doctor who was diagnosed with lupus, and she had just gotten the diagnosis, and her husband went online, and he took one of the last spots of our rapid recovery group. And by the end of the group, she no longer had the lupus diagnosis. It was like it was brand new, and then it was gone, and she was out, and she's been doing well for a long time since then. It's been years ago. So that would be another choice. So you can either read it and just start doing the nutrition as best you can, or you can do something super aggressive like our group, or you could even book an appointment with Thomas. Thomas has more availability with me because he doesn't promote it. But he would also be able to give you a nutrition protocol to follow if you wanted to do it on your own. But I'm glad that you are here right now seeing this so you can get on top of it. Check it out, because there's other people literally watching right now who have just celebrated being free from MS. So on this protocol. So it's not a coincidence that you're here right now. All right, let me see. And oh my goodness, that's it. Oh, I want to stay with you all and keep going. One last celebration here, J2 Cook. I started your protocol 2 weeks. Diabetic sugars are almost normal. So that's a huge celebration. Can I add spices to mushrooms? Yes, and it's not considered cooking to put spices on things. I'm so happy to get to be here with you today and to be able to celebrate with all of you. That is the best thing for me. That is my medicine every day. That is my nourishment, my soul nourishment, is being able to help all of you, inspire you, teach you, and take care of you. And there's only so much I can do. And then you've got to actually take the reins and follow the advice I give you. Do the plan, get your health back, and don't forget to celebrate the life you're living. Even with loss, you can celebrate. Even with sadness, you can feel gratitude. You can feel them both. I'm feeling them both at the same time. All right. That you can have all of that, and that we must do that. So again, if you didn't watch the beginning, go back to it if you needed this. Make sure to take action, whether you're going to join our last group of the year, October 24th, and let us take care of you, whether you're going to be doing this for yourself, but truly committing to getting it done. Please, it's worth it. And people love you and need you and want you to be well. I want you to be well. And I want to see you celebrating here as well. So I'm going to get going because I have another client that's going to be waiting for me. And I will see you next week. I hope you have a great rest of your week.